For this particular conference. If you are a CMA grant participant, we ask that you stand at this time and let us recognize you. If you are Dr. Tim's books, The Art of Successful Teaching and The Joy of Inspired Teaching, are bestsellers in the music education profession. He is also the co-author of the band method book, Essential Elements, as well as the creator of the highly acclaimed Director's Communication Kits. He is a graduate of Ball State University and the University of Alabama. He was awarded an honorary doctorate degree from Vanderbilt College of Music. Additional awards, and there are many, include the Distinguished Sutler Order of Merit from the John Philip Sousa Foundation, Mr. Holland's Opus Award, and the Music Industry Award from the Midwest Band Clinic Board of Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, music educators, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you our speaker for today. Please welcome him to the stage, Dr. Tim Lautzenheiser.
It's always exciting to see people leave right after the introduction, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. If you're going to be an architect, you find a school that has a great architectural school. If you're going to be a music educator, you ask your teacher where you should go to school, right? And how many of you treated your music teacher different than other teachers? How many of you are still at the point in your life where you can't call them by their first name? Their doctor or something. I know. I say this with lightning coming through the ceiling. I think you may be the most impactful teacher in the school for a lot of kids. Now, let's be honest about this, and please understand, I want them there for music. I want them there so they can express themselves with a language unknown in common hours, etc., all the platitudes that go with it. But there's a lot more to it. How many have been teaching 10 years or more? Okay. In your career, you may have 4 or 5 people that go on as professional musicians, that make their living as a professional musician, if we're lucky, right? You may have 25, 30 in your career that will go on as music educators, right? What about all those others? What about that bubble in the center who are going to be doctors and lawyers, and they're going to go on to another profession? What about them? Because that's the majority of people we impact. And you know what? The way we do anything is the way we do everything. So what they learn from you, they transfer to every other part of life. I mean, we've heard this so many times. All the smart kids are in music. That is not true. It feels good when you say it, doesn't it? You're like, yeah, I'm a smart kid. What is true is, once they join you, is when all their academic grades accelerate. That's how important you are. It's online. I was doing these administrator things, and 80% of administrators come from one discipline. You know what it is, don't you? It's athletics. Yeah, sports. Not bad or good, just did. So they'd all taken surveys of which class held the kids the best online, which kept them from putting their hoodies on and laying under the couch and turning their screens on. Anybody want to guess which one it was? It was music. All of them had the same answer. Now, these administrators go, you got what I got. You got what I got. Why? And I just keep my mouth shut. Here's what they came up with. Music is not a class. It's a culture. And I'm like, I never thought about that. See, they get that math teacher once, twice, maybe 3 times in middle school and high school. They get some of you every year. Sometimes every day of the week of every year. Sometimes more time than they have with their parents. That's why you have a relationship with them nobody else has. You get it? That's how important you are. And that's what guides me in our lives. And that's what got us here, most of us, because there was a Mr. Miller in our life. Jamie, Christmas. How many of you do elementary music? Let me see, get him up here. You're the most important music teachers in our schools. If you don't get him, nobody's going to get him, baby. There is no Persichetti without you, right? How many of you do middle school? How? I can see that. How many do high school? High school. How about college? How many of you are college students? Welcome. But I could sing. I could sing without stuttering. And Miss Sellers was my music teacher from grade 1 through grade 12 in our little country school. My last year, after consolidation, we had 212 in the high school. That was after consolidation. 202 of them were in her choir. You don't think she was a special teacher? Oh my God. I worship that lady. And Miss Sellers would always say, they wouldn't have put me in some special track for learning. Miss Sellers wouldn't let him because she said, he doesn't have a disability. He's just because he can sing. We just need to work with him. And got to my parents and got me to a speech there. Where would I be without Miss Sellers? I want to be like Miss Sellers. You get it? And sometimes I want to shake our profession and go, will you stand up for what you believe? Instead of just like, oh, well, I can't because I can't. Stop. We are one of 4 nations in the world that has music in the schools, and we get to teach it. And I know the veteran teachers in here, there have been times you've reached in your pocket and given kids money, haven't you? Because they didn't have it. Because they needed this or need that, and they go, you'll pay me later. You know you're never going to see that money again. But you do it the right thing for the right reasons. And when some kid comes back and says, you know what? You made a difference in my life. And you're like, you made a difference in mine, but it wasn't very good at the time. That's how important you are. You're never supposed to read to people. That's an insult to intelligence. I read this to you. And I just told him backstage, I said, when I go to other places, I'm not dissing any other conference. I do what I do. I get in a car or Uber or something, I leave. Ron's going to take me to the airport. You know what that means? You know what that says about your organization? You care. He's going to take me, drop me off, he'll get my luggage for me. Come on. And so when I was talking to the high school kids about this. Negative to positive. And positive doesn't mean happy. It means honest and with forward motion. It takes one negative to be offset by 8 positives. We don't have that kind of time. We got to get at it, all of us. We got to get in the harness and pull together. So here's the story that everybody begged for, and then we'll be off our merry way. I can't remember you can remember these stories. They say, we're back to they again, aren't we? They say you remember the best times and the worst times of your life. If I said, what were you doing June 3rd, 1993, you wouldn't remember. How about September 11th, 2001? How many remember that day? Absolutely. I've flown into St. Louis. Business travelers are really impatient. We couldn't get a gate. I was upset, and then they said, you can turn your phones on. This is where people actually minded that rule. I turned my phone on, and my wife, like, where are you? And I said, I'm sitting on the tarmac in St. Louis. She said, our country's been attacked. And I'm like, oh, you got your medicine mixed up again, Andrew. You know, we're the United States. Nobody attacks us. She said, get in off that plane and get in the hotel room. And I remember when we finally got a gate, walking through, looking in the sports bars, they kept showing the planes going into the towers, you know. I don't know how you were. It was not more than I thought it was. It's more than I can think. My mind's not that big. Like, why would anybody do this? So by the time I get to baggage, she's calling. And I said, did you cancel the session at the University of Missouri tonight? And she goes, your crazy music teacher friends. She goes, they're nuts. She said, the kids, they've closed the schools. The teachers haven't captured. You're going to have a huge crowd tonight. They're raining. We had a great session that night. 2 days later, I'm supposed to be in Phoenix, Arizona. That is one of the biggest sessions we have, about 1,300 kids. And I said, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure the planes aren't going to fly. And she's like, I don't know if I can get to everybody and cancel it. I said, check how far it is. Right? This is German brain. Right? Check. She goes, oh my God, are you going to do what I think you're going to do? I said, just see how many miles it is. In case you're interested, it's 1,285 miles from St. Louis to Phoenix. She said, you're going to try to drive it, aren't you? I said, yeah. She goes, you start at 9 o'clock in the morning. She goes, you know how fast you'd have to drive to get there? I'm like, I have no idea. Click, 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 click. She goes, you have to average 82 miles an hour. Well, that's doable. I thought it was going to be something beyond the capacity of the car. So I just took off heading west, you know. Well, you know, when you drive fast for a while, it doesn't seem like you're driving fast, right? And I had an honor band coming up. I hadn't looked at the score. So I thought, I'll just put that baby up there right on the dashboard. That's a 4-lane. I had a little wiggle room. As I'm going across at the top of Amarillo, I see a state trooper coming the other way, and I'm like, oh, no, no, no. Looked in the rearview mirror. Sure enough, down in the median, he goes, bubbles, sirens. I'm like, I am trying to help you. I pulled over. If you're from Texas, I apologize, but they walk different down there. It's like, He comes up. I had the rental agreement. Where are you going, Mom? I said, I'm headed to Phoenix. He goes, do you know how fast you're driving? I don't know, 88 miles an hour. He goes, I clock you at 93. I'm making time. I didn't realize I had He goes, what's that on the dashboard? I said, it's a score. It's a band score, a music score. He said, you know something about music? I said, a little bit. He reached in, he put a death grip on my shoulder. He goes, are you a band director? And I said, as a matter of fact, I am. And he goes, you changed lives. I'm like, I've been up too long, man. I said, I'm sorry. He said, my son plays trombone in the Amarillo High School band. And he said, when he got in that band, he said, we think that kid is messing around with drugs. He said, he got in that band, that's all he talks about. That band record. He loves that band record. He said, just talk about that band. He said he wants a new trombone for Christmas. You think that's a good idea? Oh, I said, it's a great idea. He said, well, his mother and I know nothing about instruments. He said, could you help me? I had my business card, my Bach business card was right there. I handed it to him, and it says, you know, senior vice president, blah, blah, blah. He looked at that card. I remember he went, huh, this is you? I said, yes, sir. And he goes, oh my God, this is my lucky day. And I'm thinking, no. This is my lucky day. He goes back to his car. I'm like, this is going to cost me $300-400. He came back up and he goes, now what kind of trombone should I get him? He's got the ticket. He's going to write it on the ticket. I said, give me a day. Call this 800 number. I got your back. He goes, what time you got to be in Phoenix? I said, 9 a.m. He goes, oh my God, you know how fast you're going to have to drive? It's getting faster the longer we talk here. I said, he goes, I can't help you outside the state of Texas. But he said, I'll call my buddy and tell him you're coming. There's only one state trooper between here and the New Mexico line. He said, just be careful. I'm like, well, crap, I'm on the Autobahn now. About 20 miles aside, I see him hiding back in the weeds there. And I go by, and out he comes. He does one of those Dukes of Hazzard things, you know. And he pulled me over, and he comes up and he goes, are you Tom Hammer? Sure. Because you're the guy my buddy picked up in Amarillo? I said, yes. He goes, he didn't get the number on that trombone for his kid. He said, we're going to spot you all the way into Phoenix. I said, I don't know what that means. This is important information to you, by the way. He said, generally, the trooper's going to be on your right. He said, they'll see you. The first thing they'll do is turn the bubbles on. He said, pop your headlights 3 times so they know it's you. He said, we'll get you there. I got there 20 minutes early. Doing a quad in my breaking law. I went in and I splashed water on my face. I'm like, thank you so much. And I walked out and there's 1,300 kids with American flags singing This Land Is Your Land. It doesn't get better than that. So for most people, that was a bad day. For me, it's a good day. 2 years later, I'm in Amarillo, Texas, doing a leadership workshop for kids. Afterwards, this kind of goofy kid came up, like Ichabod Crane or something. He says, I really had a good time, Dr. Dean. I said, so did I. And he said, can I ask a question? I said, sure. And he went, is this your business card? And I'm like, is your dad a state trooper? He goes, yeah, you want to see my new trombone?
day.